So remember when I did a video talking about Facebook rental scams, and a lot of you guys were commenting in my comment section talking about some, well,
this is why I don't rent anything on Facebook.
Why would you trust anything posted on Facebook?
This is why I only do Zillow.
They're scamming on Zillow too.
Before I responded to him, I reached out to realtor.com and Zillow.com because on their websites it says that this property has sold. Like, it just sold like 2 weeks ago. So I asked if I could tour the property. You can only drive by and view it from the outside. If you like what you see, you can submit application, and once I receive them, I can mail the keys to your preferred address. You can then go view the inside and plan the move-in date. Basically, what he wants you to do is he wants you to submit the rent and the security deposit and all of this stuff, and then he will send you the keys.
I don't understand why you're renting a house that's for sale. He hung up on me.
You guys, I showed up to this place. There was a listing on Facebook for an apartment, and it said privately rented, like it was for sale by owner. I'm at the address, and they blocked me and took all my money.
What up, everybody? I am the Mademoiselle, and this is my channel. Welcome to another video. Today, we're talking about Zillow scams as well as other rental scams, because we're going to be doing a reaction. Now, I had to make sure that I wasn't tripping when people were commenting that this is why I don't do anything on Facebook when it comes to getting anything legit, because I was just like, I get legitimate shit on Facebook all the time. I bought gear on Facebook. I've gotten apartments on Facebook. As a matter of fact, the building that I live in now, the listing was actually on Facebook. The previous apartment, no, I lived in South Jersey prior to this. The previous apartment before that, I found them on Facebook. Great people, lovely people. Like, in a general sense, almost all of my listings have been found on Facebook. So for the most part, I will say not everything on Facebook is a scam. You do have to be extra careful, and there are some things that you should be doing to take precautions to make sure you are not scammed. But to sit there and be like, oh, well, this is why I don't find apartments, or this is why I don't buy anything on Facebook Market, this is why I don't trust Facebook Market. From my personal experience, I've had great experiences, both as a buyer and a seller. But there are some things that you just genuinely shouldn't do regardless of what platform you're on, right? If you're looking for an apartment or a house, do not give anybody any money upfront, period. I don't care if it's a holding fee. I don't care if it's one of those things where you really need a house and you're homeless because you're going to lose that damn money because they're scamming you. I don't care what reason they give you as to why you need to send this money immediately. You don't even know who they are and what the space looks like. Do not send it. I've only, I kid you not, only had scammers try to get me to send money prior to even seeing the property. Anytime I've seen a property from Facebook, Craigslist, Zillow, etc., they have literally taken the money from me in person via cashier's check or via their portal. I've never in my life had to send Zelle or whatever the case may be as a deposit. It's almost always a cashier's check. A legitimate business owner, a legitimate landlord is not going to sit there and be like, oh, Zelle the deposit. And if they have and they are real, I'm telling you right now, they genuinely should not be doing that, because your security deposit, okay, especially when it comes to an apartment, is actually supposed to go into a savings bank for you. They're not supposed to be using it or whatever. Like, and I know there are some legitimate landlords that will have you Zelle or whatever, but I'm just telling you right now, that's not a good business practice. It should almost always be like a cashier's check. Okay, so don't do that. Do not send any money to any of these people. They're scamming you. Additionally, make sure you're meeting with someone in person. But also, there are scams that happen in person where these people are actually scammers and you're meeting people and you think it's real and they still take your money. Okay, so that's why I need you to get with a real estate person. Okay, real estate agent, real estate broker, real estate, whatever. Get with somebody in real estate to help you. Because I kid you not, the scams are rampant, okay? Whether you're buying a house or you're getting an apartment. And a lot of people seem to think, oh, well, that's why you don't trust certain platforms. It has nothing to do with the platform. It has everything to do with these scammers, because these scammers are actually really smart, and they're now able to literally replicate these listings and act like it is theirs when obviously it is not. I thought it would have been common sense to a lot of people that these people are just putting up fake listings and there's nothing to stop them from doing so. But I guess we have to just listen to some stories instead. There are so many videos that I've come come across that highlight what's going on. So many people every day are literally getting scammed out of thousands of dollars because they thought that they were getting a legitimate home when in actuality it was a scammer just trying to take their money. Also, keep in mind, even the real estate agents are getting scammed. It's that serious. So don't think that you're stupid or you're whatever. Like, everybody's out here getting scammed when it comes to housing right now. Do not be one of these people. With that being said, comment down below. Have you went through this before? Have you had anyone take your money or scam you out of a place? Because I'd love to hear them down below. But let's get into the reaction.
You seen this new scam going around? I got an email yesterday from somebody on one of my listings. So it sends me an email with the Zillow link of the property address and says, I have some questions about this house. So I respond to the email and I'm like, great, what questions can I answer for you? And he said, well, I'd like to get on a Zoom call. What's your availability? What? I was like, okay. So I sent him some times and he doesn't respond. And then he emails me again yesterday on Sunday. And I said, well, I can get on a call with you Monday. I have some time in the morning. Still no response. And in the meantime, I had said, can you please send me a list of your questions so I can prepare for our call? And he responds, well, my wife is going to be the one asking the questions. And I'm like, what? Why are we getting on a Zoom? I don't like this. And then about an hour ago, I get another email that says, here's the link for our Zoom call at 11 a.m. And I was like, unfortunately now my entire morning is booked because I didn't hear from you.
So boom, there's a few scams that start like this, but the main objective of this scam is to gain information on your listing so they can repost it. A lot of the times, especially on Zillow, a lot of the reason a lot of these people are able to replicate these scams is because all the listings are already there, right? So they can just take a listing, duplicate the listing and repost it. But a lot of times there's some key information that you need that may not be available. Like, you ever notice how like on Zillow, certain things will be like hidden until you contact or contact for info. If you talk to a real estate agent and they're able to give you that set information and be like, oh, okay, like, I have this for sale, I have this for rent, I have da-da-da, you'll get the details directly from them. Additionally, depending, okay, because sometimes, it depends on the real estate agent. Some of them really do talk too much and they're the reason a lot of these people are able to scam. A lot of times, especially with the scams that I spoke about earlier, as well as my other video, a lot of times, the scam is basically just to get the information and try to gauge where your listings are, so they can pretend to be you. Like, that's a big one. And I only know this because I have a lot of real estate people in my life. Like, literally everybody in my life is literally in real estate, nursing or medical, law, or teaching. So it's like, yeah. And I will say real estate probably trumps all of it because almost all these people are in real estate. It's like they're a teacher, but they're a realtor. They're a nurse, but then they're a real estate agent. So trust. It's insane. That's how they be getting you.
Buyers, beware. There are scams going on Zillow, Craigslist, and all these other sites all the time. You have to be careful, right? This right here is an example of one that we will go through, and you let me know your thoughts. $22,000 for a home in Miami, built in 2021. Does that sound realistic?
That don't sound realistic at all for anywhere in the United States, actually.
Too good to be true? Then it's probably too good to be true. And it says right here, for sale by owner. I think that's another red flag. But let's go down and read the description. Let me know your thoughts. So here's the description. So I'm going to read it out, make it nice and simple for you. You have to read the entire thing before you call them. Don't waste their time, okay? This house is looking for a cash sale of $22,000, and they're looking for a first-time home buyer. That's their ideal person they're looking for. They say it here, and I'll get into that, all right? But they basically say that a few times a year they do this. They own a bunch of properties everywhere, and they just want to be nice and have like a tax write-off and give away a house. That's basically what they're saying. So then at the bottom of the paragraph, it says in bold, or rather capital letters, first-time buyers with no representation, no assistance from anyone are the only people we want contacting. They don't want anybody who's getting advice from anybody, all right? And then it basically says that there's tenants in the property and they can't show you the home until 6 days after you've sent a $2,000 deposit through Zelle. Look right here, via Zelle right there. $2,000 via Zelle, and then they'll show you the property 6 days later. That makes perfect sense. Then they'll have you basically sign a contract with a letter of intent. And then, after you sent the $2,000 via Zelle, And don't forget, they'll have a picture of your ID and email address to our property manager, but this entire process is non-negotiable. No way around that. Then they're just describing the terms here even more. If you want to pause in and read it, you can. But basically, the property manager's name is Karen, and she's doing everything. She's not an agent or broker or anything. She's just, handling everything to make sure that everything here is non-negotiable and that you're doing and sending those $2,000 via Zelle, because Zelle is like the right way, right, to send a deposit. Then they go on to say that if you don't like the property after you see it, they'll give you your money back, right? But I guess what's to stop them, from not giving it back at that point? How do you know this is true or legit or not? Oh, but then they want to make sure that you don't have a title company. They don't involve a title company until after the walkthrough. So don't call a title company. Don't call an attorney on anyone until after you've sent the money. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes so much sense. And they really want to specify that this is for first-time home buyers only. If you're not a first-time home buyer with $2,000 to send through Zelle, then they don't want you, because they understand that first-time home buyers don't understand the process. They want to take advantage of that. Be aware. Not everything you see online is true. If it's too good to be true, then it is too good to be true.
Literally everything he said is spot on. With these type of listings, okay, I've never seen one this fucking brazen. This is a dead scam. I don't know who the hell they think they fooling, but I really hope nobody fell for this one. The idea is, if you don't know anything about buying a house, you're going to make mistakes. Everyone that buys their first house, for the most part, makes certain mistakes. Not necessarily some to this degree of falling for something like this, but a majority of people who never bought a house literally don't understand the process. And it's a lot harder and a lot more difficult, and the process is a lot longer than a lot of people think it is. It takes months to properly buy a house through the right channels. First, you got to find one. Then you got to put in your offer. Then when you get the offer, there's lots of things and inspections and stuff in place. Then there's things that might have to be renovated. Then there's things you have to go through legally. Then there's so many hoops you have to jump through. So it's very funny. Like, this person made sure it was like, oh, we're looking for first home buyers that, basically that don't have no help. Nobody could be involved in the process. Like, come on now, that screams scam. And it's crazy that a lot of people be thinking, oh, well, it's Zillow. There's no scams on Zillow. There's plenty of scams on Zillow. There's plenty of scams everywhere on any site, even the ones that you think are more legitimate.
The rental scam game is so strong. Listen to this.
And from the inside, con artists are preying on people who are looking for a place that they can afford. So they're using fake real estate listings, and they're exploiting the convenience of self-guided tours. So how do we know? Well, 12-on-your-size Marilyn Moritz went house hunting.
Vicky King knew moving would be a hassle. It was worse. Turned out the house her family started moving into was never even for rent.
My heart just sunk.
They'd found the rental on Craigslist and called to see it.
And the guy said, call me when you get there. So we did. And he talked us through opening it.
They could do a self-tour using the owner's lockbox.
And you just say, I want to take a tour now. Yes. Unlock the door. And it click.
Electronic lockboxes. Many real estate services use them as a convenience for tenants.
So before we keep going, first of all, copyright reasons, I have to pause. Second of all, I have a lot to say about this, because this is exactly how they be getting you. You see how that first real estate agent was like, I don't understand what they're going to get from me via Zoom. They're going to get to understand where your properties are. Okay, how you access them. Are you always there? Like, literally, this is what they do, especially the ones with the lock boxes. Those be the ones that sometimes, a lot of times, I can't even say sometimes, a lot of times they're actually legitimate. But what happens is there are a lot of, like, how do I explain it? A lot of times there are a lot of legitimate real estate agents that have gone rogue. Okay, hence why that first real estate agent was like, oh, well, they said they were a real estate agent, so I don't see what they need to talk to me for. Because a lot of them are legitimate, but they're running scams on the side. Okay, they have a group of friends ready with them to run these scams. They have somebody reaching out to people or answering messages for these listings, and then they're like getting a house or whatever that they know has a lockbox. They're giving it to prospective tenants with no intent of actually helping them rent these properties. A lot of times it's just a regular person. Okay, it could just be a regular person contacting landlords or whatever, or real estate agents that they know have lockboxes, and they're just reposting these things and then giving the information to people. And then the people are going, they're doing the guided tour, and then they're just contacting the person in which they got the code from and giving the money to them because, oh, I like it, I did my tour. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, They find a property, they find the lockbox, they promote it as their own, they take the money, and they dip.
Scammers are taking advantage, creating an illusion. So how does something like this happen? We searched for rentals that seemed too good, then Googled the address. This says rent is $12.50. Sweet. But our search turned up another listing. It's actually for sale. I don't understand why you're renting a house that's for sale. He hung up on me. Within minutes, we found dozens of hijacked listings. This house truly was for rent for $19.45 a month, but on Craigslist, it's just $1,000. So I texted the number. The man said he was the owner and I could see it at the property.
Hello.
He called and instructed me to make an account on Rently, a legit service that provides lockboxes for self-tours.
Click on phone now.
Rently did require my ID, facial recognition selfies, a credit card, and my phone's location. There was even a scam warning advising me rent is $19.45. But he'd previously told me there was a rent-to-own option for that amount.
Click on the box.
Once I got the code,
It's making noise. Oh, okay. We have a key.
it didn't take long, and he wanted money.
You pay the security deposit, you pay the rent, so you can move in as soon as possible. As you can see right now, the property is vacant and ready for it moving, and you have the keys in your hand.
We didn't pay. Unfortunately, Vicky and many others have.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, do not give these people any money until you're very sure who they are. And one way to really make sure is looking up these listings. Because a lot of times you're going to see multiple listings on the same property and half of them are scams. And then on top of that, look up who owns these properties. Is it a real estate company? Is it, like a person? Is it an entity? Is it private? Whatever. Like, you need to find these things out. Don't just be giving your money to anybody. I find it like extremely heartbreaking and fucked up that there's people out there that have literally like lost all the money to their name just because of these scammers. Like, it actually genuinely pisses me off because that's not okay. Like, it's one thing to scam someone out of $100, which is a lot for a lot of people. But like, when you're scamming people out of thousands, like, what type of person do you have to be for that? Like, that's just disgusting to me.
Forgive me if I look a mess, but honestly, I don't even care right now. Last night, I was just scammed out of $5,230. $5,230. I saw a house on Realtor.com. I'm looking for a house to rent. I have 2 kids now. I want my own backyard to have dogs. I saw a house on Realtor.com. I reached out to so many houses. I don't even remember when I reached out to this house. Somebody texted me saying inquired about their property. Everything looked great. Okay, cool. Missouri City, not far from where I live. All right, bet. Went out there to go see the house after work. I get there. The landlord ain't even there, which he never told me ahead of time that he wasn't going to be there. So let's not forget that. So I get there. I see that it's an open door brokerage. If nobody knows what open door brokerage, it's a platform where people can sell their property or buy property, and you don't have to physically be there or hire a physical realtor to be there to show your property and do all of that. It's like almost like how when you get an Airbnb and you got to type in the numbers and then it lets you in and unlocks the doors, or you type in a number and you get the keys out of a lockbox. That's the same way they got it set up. So
I would suggest not to do these just because of the scams. I know there's legitimate ones out there, but just to be sure, I would not go for these unless you really know the people that are doing it, like behind the scenes. It's funny because people will be like, oh, I only do things on Zillow. I only do things on Realtor. Okay, and there's scams on there too. So what are we talking about?
Type in your numbers and it opens up the doors for you. You know what I'm saying? It unlocks the doors for you temporarily so you can get in there, you can tour the house. So we went in, we toured the house, we walked around. I'm like, oh, okay, if I couldn't get in the house, then I would feel like it's not legitimate. But because we got in the house, we did a whole tour and all of that, I'm like, gotta be legitimate. Gotta be legitimate. The second red flag. I'm gonna say the second red flag. The second red flag was that when you get to the house, it was a sign in the yard that said, it was a sign on the door that said, this house is not for rent, it's for sale. So I'm like, okay, it says it's not for rent, it's for sale. He said, I've been trying to sell my house for a while and I've been having problems with selling it. It's been on the market for almost a year, so I decided to take it off the market and just fill it and rent it and get a tenant, fill it with a tenant.
Should have looked that up. look up the address, look up all that. All that is public record. You would be able to see if he was actually selling it or not, how long he was selling it, how much he was selling it for, all the price changes on Realtor, Zillow, whatever. Shit, you can even contact your county, your city, etc., and be like, hey, I need details on this house. Y'all need to stop playing with your livelihoods, man. $5,000. I feel physically ill just looking at that $5,000, man.
Okay, that makes sense. I got a neighbor where I live at now where he was trying to sell his house. He couldn't sell it, so he had to try to, you know what I'm saying? He put it on the market to be rented, and now he has tenants that live in his house right across this way. So I know that's possible. So I'm like, okay, all right. It's not for sale. You're going to take it off the market. Okay, cool. But we in the house. Like, I genuinely felt like if I'm able to get inside this house and tour this house, it's legitimate. Because most of the time, they bullshit you. And they bullshit you by getting you to, like, basically saying, like, oh, you get there. Oh, we can't view inside the house. I have tenants. Or, oh, they'll give up an excuse where this is like, oh, okay, you got an actual open door brokerage account. And you're doing tours. And you're doing this and you're doing that. The nigga made it seem so real. He made it seem real. So as we in the house, after we tore the house, we're still standing in there. I'm on the phone with the man the whole time as I'm touring the house. We tore the house. He says, oh yeah, I'm like, well, I'm ready. Because I'm ready to move. My rush was because I wanted to move before my son's birthday. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be moved in before my son's birthday. My son's birthday is March 7th. So that was where my rushing was coming in. I was moving fast. So I'm like, all right, cool. Well, if it's available, I'm going to do this application. If I get approved, how long does it take for you to get back to me? He said 30 minutes. I've had one place that allowed me, that I applied to, and they approved me literally within 30 minutes. One place before. So I'm like, okay, maybe you just do like a little basic generic background check or whatever. I don't got nothing.
You know what's crazy? I've had places approve me just based off my income and based off of because what I would do and what I typically do is I print out my credit report. Like I find out my credit report ahead of time and then I'll give it to whoever versus doing all this nonsense of spending $50 here, $100 here, $200 here. Like I don't have time for that. And I usually like to rent private. So most of the time I'll be like, here's my this, here's my that. Look at it. Yes, no, maybe so. So this is not far-fetched. I feel bad for her because everything was lined up properly for her to really fall into the scam. Shit, I probably would have fell for this one. But I mean, now I know better. I look up these properties, but this is crazy because a lot of people think the way she does, and it's not like she's dumb or anything. She just perfect circumstances to be scammed.
On my background, so I'm not worried about it. You're approved. 30 minutes later, tells me I'm approved. Then says, oh, I got to pay security deposit and first and last month's rent. All right. On the thing, you told me first month's rent and a security deposit. Now you're saying last month's rent and security deposit. But once again, this is all terminology that's normally used. Last month's rent, security deposit. We all done heard that before when it come to renting, right? So I pay that money. I'm sitting outside because he told me. I said, well, how soon can I get my keys? Before I even pay. He said, oh, the keys are in the lockbox at the front door. So once you pay, I can release it. We got a contract lease signed. You sign your lease, which I ended up doing. He sent the whole lease to me and I signed the lease and sent the shit back. Like a goofy. I sent it back.
So comment down below where you're from. Is it first, last, and deposit? Or is it just first month in deposit? I'm from Jersey. I've lived in North Jersey and South Jersey. South Jersey is the only place where they literally was like first month, last month, and deposit. And it's weird because the deposit was way cheaper because obviously you're paying first month and last month in deposit. So I ended up paying a pretty penny, but here rent is expensive anyway. But I'm used to paying first month in deposit. So it was so weird to me. And then I found out in other states, that's how it be. First month, last month in deposit. And I'm like, oh yeah, nah. Like North Jersey, it's typically just first month in deposit. And usually the deposit is the first month's rent and a half or just the first month rent. Like it was first month and then half. So it was 1.5 deposit. So I believe this apartment was 23 at the time. So I had to be 23 and then half of that was like 3,000 something. Like it was like 3,400. And then I had to pay first month. Still a pretty penny, right? But I know some places do it a little different. So I want to know, how is it where you're from? Comment down below.
So then it was like, okay, once you do that, you pay your security deposit, your first month's rent. We'll release the lockbox and you'll be able to get your keys. And this is where things started to go downhill. right here at this moment. This is where my gut and my heart started burning. My chest started burning, my heart, my gut. And I'm just like, bitch, I think you just got got. I think you just got got. I think you just got got. Oh, and let's not forget, after I sent the first last month's rent and security deposit, he then told me that it was a $1,180 HOA fee. He said that covers a 12 months lease. He doesn't want people paying it monthly because he doesn't want it to fall behind. So he's making people pay their 12-month HOA fees all added up, which came up to $1,180.
I never heard that one before. Let me know if that's something you've actually heard of or went through. I could see the logic for that one. I ain't gonna hold you. I fall for that one. I would fall for that one because I could see why somebody be like, oh, I wouldn't want to, and I probably would not. But if I was desperate or on a time crunch, I could see myself falling for that one. I've never heard of it though. So maybe it'd probably scream red flags to me.
And yes, before you judge me, yes, I sent it. We listen and we don't judge. I sent it. I sent the 1180. Y'all, I don't never be quick to just pass out money like that. I'm tight with it. Because I'm a Capricorn.
Queen, we're cousins. We're here. I'm a Capricorn too. So I know this hurts more than anything. And I know there's somebody what does I got to do with it? If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Shut up. It's not that serious, okay? Like, but you know if you're a Capricorn. Oh, it's a special type of pain. Special type of pain to spend unnecessary money, bro.
But it's just like, we inside of this house right now. This could be ours. My daughter in here picking out a room. I'm here looking at the backyard, telling me what I'm going to do with the house and all this other stuff. Too good to be true. Too good to be true, because I sent that money, and once I sent that money, then all the excuses started to come in. Then it was the excuse on why the lockbox wasn't working. Then, I gotta release this person, I gotta do that. I ended up sitting up at that house for 3.5, almost 4 hours with my kids just to leave with no key. Sat there and thought about breaking in that house. I'm like, I done gave this man all this money. I'm finna to kick this door in and stay here until the wheels fall off, because y'all not finna play with me. But that's the thing. That's not his property. That's somebody else's property. And somebody else is going to take a loss from that.
You know what's actually crazy about that? Niggas squat all the time and there's squatter freaking laws. Meanwhile, people getting scammed all day and they're supposed to just suffer because they lost their money because people are out here fucking up. They need to do something about that. These squatter laws really piss me off. Like, they need to do something about that. People should not be able to get got like this and there's nothing to protect them. Meanwhile, people are out here just moving into people's properties unprovoked with no authorization and they're protected. That's crazy.
I don't believe in putting out bad, regardless of how justified you feel, because that always got to come back. You know what I'm saying? I try to do right by people. You know what I'm saying? So this is crazy that this is getting done to me. This is getting done to me. And the most craziest thing about it, I'm thinking because the man is a lenient landlord, which is probably why he take Chime, he take Cash App, he take Apple Pay. You know? No, the nigga scamming. I paid him on Cash App, y'all. I sent the money on Cash App. I actually had a homegirl back in Minnesota that used to pay her landlord on Cash App every month. And she was...
I've paid rent via Cash App. I've paid rent via Zelle. I've paid rent via Venmo. I paid rent via Wire. I've paid rent via Portal. Never, ever the initial, though. Typically, even if your landlord takes that in the beginning, they're going to take a cashier's check or they're going to take a cashier's check. like that. That's a red flag. Like, you can send the rent, but even like, I've had a time where I literally couldn't make it to the bank. So what was it? I think it was my parents' last apartment where I sent the deposit via cashiers and then I sent the rent via Zelle. So it's like the rent, yes. The initial shit, no, never, never.
Living in the house for 2 years. So it's like, it's not usual, not typical, but I didn't think that was like, okay, that's what tailed it off for me. I didn't think that. So I sent it. Now I gotta call Cash App in an hour or two. I gotta talk to them about this whole situation. And everybody that know Cash App don't like giving people their money back. But I got all the receipts. I'm gonna post them on here. I got all the receipts. Y'all, I've cried. Since last night, all the way to this morning. Because it's not about the money. It's not about whether I can make it back or not. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's about the principle. You took from me. You took from my kids. You know what I'm saying? You took from my family. You feel what I'm saying? Like, Y'all got to get a better hustle out here. I get it. You just ate up on $5,000 off of somebody with 2 children. Okay, cool. If that make you feel better, cool. But God don't like ugly. And I stay a blessed person. Yeah, life happens. May not seem like right now, because I'm sick. I'm sick. I don't care how much I hustle, how much I make, how much I do. Baby, $5,000, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire, mamas. I'm not a millionaire. I don't want to take no $5,000 losses, okay? Like, at all. But I'm here now. So now I gotta call, do this, do that, fraud, this, try to get my money back. I don't even feel like I'm gonna get my shit back. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see. But I'm finna post another video with the pictures, the screenshots of the conversation, all the deets and the details. All the deets and the details. Because, so, this is the man right here texting me. He texts my phone. Hello, Charity Jackson. This is Mr. David. You inquired about the property I have listed for rent address. Da 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 da. Mind you, this was on Wednesday. I was at work. I was working. He put the rent, the deposit, the square footage, the selling price. The selling price, I'm like, okay. Like, y'all gonna see how he tried to cover things up. For somebody that's not experienced in this, it would have been easy to get over on me. So basically, you instant rent. And I said, good morning. Hell yeah. I'm interested in renting. Good morning. How soon you looking to rent? The first week of March, I noticed the rent was lower. So I asked him about it. He was like, no, the monthly rent is $13.50. So I'm like, oh, okay, shit. You know, black folk, it's like seeing something on a shelf. And the shelf price says 15, and then you go ring it up and it's 10. You're going to be like, damn, y'all lowered the price, but you're not asking too many questions because I'm not trying to convince you on why you should up your rent. You must just be trying to make some money because you've been holding it for a long time.
When I'm telling you right now, the biggest way to spot a scam is that the pricing being too good to be true, because no one is trying to lower rent or give a cheap rental when they can literally be giving market price or more. So that's a surefire way to know that someone's scamming you.
He gonna say he's been trying to sell it for a long time. May I view it today? I'm like, yeah. Before I get there, this is what he says. Let me know when you're on the way. Carry your driver's license with you for verification. As you should know, my property is for sale, but I'm having a hard time selling, so I'm deciding to rent it and take it off the market for sale. I just want to clarify before you come to the house. Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. David. Do let me know. I will text around 4:30, so I'm finna get off work early and everything. I'm trying to get to this house to view it so I can get it before anybody else. I'm slightly competitive, right? So when I really want something, I'll be worried about somebody else coming and taking it from under me. I'll be trying to lock it in. So I hit him up again. I'm like, okay, boom. At this point, I'm about to be leaving on my way home. From the house. This house is a good fit. I'll be ready to pay my double deposit. First month's rent to move, so I'll be ready if that works out. So hence to me saying double deposit. I don't have a lot of credit. My credit is really, really new. I'm building it now, but I pretty much left my credit alone for years, since from 18 to 29, excuse me. I haven't really messed with my credit too much because I didn't want to damage it. So I told him I don't have a lot of credit that can be like verified or anything like that. I don't even have a score. I'm very new on my credit. I have referencing, but I don't have nothing on my credit for you to be like yay or nay, right? I'm willing to pay a double deposit for that because I know a lot of times people are very, very keen to that. You know what I'm saying? Back in 2019, I was leaving a domestic relationship. I acquired a UD. People that don't know what a UD is when you get evicted. I ended up leaving. I really didn't get evicted. I basically left my apartment without paying the rent anymore. I left it back in 2019. I was with a super abusive dude. The relationship wasn't working. He was cheating, all of that. You know how it is. The crib was in my name. I'm like, you gotta go. You treated me wrong. You doing this, da da da. You gotta get out. He didn't want to leave. He wanted to tear my stuff up, do this, that, and the third. So I said, okay, you know what? Checkmate. How about I go and I leave, and then now you ain't got nowhere to be at since you want to try to do me like that. So that's how I got a UD.
That is fucking crazy. She sounded like she went through a lot. This is unfortunate to have to go through that and then go through this, and then you have 2 kids. Like, oh man.
Explain all of that to this man ahead of time, just to be transparent, because I'm like, hey, I have a UD. Granted, it'll be 7 years in May. I do have a UD that might show up on my record. I don't have a lot of credit. I make the money. I have the income. It's not about that. Okay, so fast forward. We get to the place. The man on text message did not tell me that he wasn't going to be there. I'm not going to lie. And I really didn't like that because I noticed that when I got there, I'm like, why wouldn't you tell me that you're not going to be here? Most people would have told somebody that they're not going to be there. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, I wanted this house so bad, y'all. This is the address to the house. So if y'all want to look up the house, y'all can see what the house looks like. I really wanted the house. It's a beautiful house. And when I seen it in person, it's nice in person too. So we get there. He's not there. I see the open door brokerage sign in the yard. Okay. The house is listed on open door brokerage. I had to go, and open door brokerage, you're able to go and tour houses and view houses without the person that owns the house being there. Me not knowing a lot about it, I'm thinking they gotta let you in. Like, yeah, you can request a tour, but the people that own the house have to know first. They let you in or they approve it. So obviously, if I'm on the phone with this man at the time of me being there, I'm on the phone with him. When I realized he wasn't there, I'm on the phone with him. He gets there walking me through it, explaining me through it, giving me a lot of reassurance. So I'm like, okay, everything is good. There's no way I can get into somebody's house, right? Just by saying I want to get in the house and the owners don't know nothing about it. Of course, they have something on this app to where they have to allow you to get in, allow you to get a code.
I really hope that all of these apps like this and all of these companies have tightened up on their security, because this happens way too often. And this is the main reason a lot of people are getting scammed, because it does seem legitimate. Like, I personally would probably fall for this too.
Something, right? This is my assumption. So I'm going in the house. We get in the house. They have a camera in the living room. They have a motion sensor on the other side of the house. I mess around and pull back up to this house just to show y'all. So I'm thinking, oh, he could see us on the camera. I'm saying stuff like, oh yeah, I know you see us at your ring light, or you see us on the thing. He's going with it, acting like, oh yeah, I see you. So I'm like, there's no way this ain't this man's house. He got a whole camera and motion detector in here. He sees us. He got access to this house. He was able to get us in the house. No way, this is not this man's house. So I love it. He sends me an email. I apply. I ask him how fast or how long does the process take, because everybody's a little different. He told me as little as 45 minutes. It took him about an hour to approve me for the house. And after I get approved, he sends this letter of approval. Miss Charity Jackson, I'm approved for this. And it has all the stuff, all the bullshit on there. My lease will begin, move-in date. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. They want deposit. They want rent. And then he ended up asking for more fees down the line, which is crazy, right? So this is the house. This is it on Zillow. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I responded to so many houses in the beginning. I really don't remember exactly which side I've seen it on. But this house is listed on HAR.com. It's listed on Zillow.com. It's listed on Realtor.com. It's listed on OpenDoor.com. It's listed everywhere. So you see the house. I cannot find the site that I seen it, but whatever site I originally seen it on, it had a rent price on there. And it must have been...
First of all, this is a gorgeous house. Wow, y'all living good in these other states. 3-bedroom, 3-bath for $263. You can't even get a condo for $200,000 in Elizabeth. I'm from Elizabeth. I currently live in East Orange. You could possibly find something like this. No, not a house. Possibly a condo. Condos start at $200 here. And it's not going to be a nice condo. Trust me. So like if you want like something modern, something renovated, you're looking at like $250 to $300. So a standard 3-bedroom, 3-bath like home standalone, easy $400. Maybe $350 if it's in the hood, $400 standard, and it's not going to be in the burbs. You're going to be basically licking your neighbor because the houses are so close together. It's actually kind of wild. Like every time I look at other states, I'm like, wow, must be nice. But I love Jersey though. It's Jersey, baby. Look, I got my Jersey made hoodie and everything. Like, love it here. But we also get paid a little bit more here. So I mean, I guess, but still, I think the housing prices here are insane.
Like an estimate, but it was estimated at like $1,750. That's why you see in the text message I bring up that the rent is $1,750. Hence that. So this is the house. Beautiful home. Nice little backyard. The backyard is bigger than this. This is just facing the house. The backyard is nice, fenced in, house in good. The rooms are nice. This is just the master bedroom by itself. This doesn't even include the other rooms and the other bathrooms that's in the house. Beautiful house. So obviously the rent being that cheap, I'm like, but I've also seen people lower their rent by $1,000 just because they struggle to get a tenant or they struggle to sell it. Hence my neighbor across the cul-de-sac, right? So it's just that the things that he was bringing up and using to justify things that may have been seen as a red flag by other people when you've seen it before and you're a little familiar to it, it doesn't, and then it gets dressed up real nice and presented to you in a way to make it seem as legit as possible, you're not always going to catch it. Because trust and believe, I was that person that used to be like, how you let somebody scam you out of X amount of dollars, out of this, out of that? Y'all not being smart. Y'all not using your mind. I promise y'all, all it takes is the perfect recipe for disaster. You wanting something bad enough and not taking the time to use your discernment, right?
This is so true. That's what I was saying in the beginning. Like, this was like the perfect recipe for her. I probably would have fell for this. I know a lot of people that definitely would have fell for this. So, damn, it's a good ass scammer.
And then somebody else wanting to scam somebody bad enough to where they hope they run into somebody like you. And then you get two people perfect, they get together, and now you have somebody that's a victim of fraud, a victim of being scammed, or losing their money, you know? So that's how this happened. Like, this is the house, this is the person. The guy's name is David Warder. Hold on, let me pull up the lease real quick so y'all can see the lease that I signed. Because I've seen some people saying that I didn't even sign a lease. Yes, I did. So this is the lease. After I got the approval letter, all of that, he formulated a lease. He then sent it to me.
Nigga, that right there would have let me know this was a scam. What the fuck is this Canva ass lease agreement? Why does it say approved, but it's like, it looks like a graphic, and then you got the gavel. Why is there a gavel on the lease agreement? Why is there so many fonts? That is another big red flag, okay? Grammatical errors and formatting is a huge one with scammers, especially this right here would have been where I was like, bullshit.
Seeing private, if you ever like rent it privately, a lot of y'all talking about companies and this like that. There are some people that do deal with realtors and stuff, but they also, because it's been so long and they're struggling, I know people that privately own properties and they do things themselves. They vet tenants themselves. They come up, they sign, they work, formulate their lease contracts and all of that with themselves. They pay for a platform to do the background checking and all of that themselves, right? There are people that do things themselves. Not everybody goes to an internet company. So I signed the lease, y'all, and he still played me. It seemed very real to me, y'all. But it's all good because I just got good news. I found out that I got approved for a place. I signed a real lease just 2 days ago. I will be moving on Saturday. So I'm going to be sharing all of that. I'm going to make sure to share everybody with that because I appreciate the prayers and the encouragement. I know you're going to have people that got bad things to say or people that's going to judge. But at the end of the day, it could be anybody. It could happen to anybody. I'm just glad that I was able to press through and still be able to figure it out in the end, still be able to move at the end of this month. And I'm super excited for my new place. I'm going to have a nice hair setup up in there. Like, yeah, it's about to get busy. So thank y'all for supporting me and just hearing me out because I was stressed. I still am. But everything gonna be okay now. Now I see that.
All right, so I honestly feel like this was one of those really, really good scams. And again, anyone could have fell for it. I'm not going to watch part 3, but I am going to save her video to the collection. So you guys can go down below, find whatever it is, follow any of the people in the videos that I reacted to. I need you guys to be careful. Like I said, get a realtor, get a real estate agent, look up these properties, go to the city, look up the city records, whatever. And a lot of y'all might think it's a lot of work, but okay, if you're okay with losing thousands of dollars, do it. I think it is absolutely deplorable and ridiculous that people are out here scamming people out of thousands, especially when they have kids and they have families. But it's crazy because especially with AI and stuff, it's not getting better. So I need you guys to be very, very hyper vigilant. Do not just give anyone your money because you're desperate. Do not be in a rush. Finding a permanent home that, like, you know, is from a good quality place, a luxury or just a stable place can take time. So yeah, don't rush into it. Okay. Do not rush into it. And most importantly, make sure you are hyper vigilant. Ask as many questions as you can. Don't let anybody make it seem like you're asking too many questions. Because if you asking too many questions, baby, they're not trying to get paid. Okay. Because any real landlord or whatever knows that the scams out there are rampant. So everybody's going to be doing their due diligence. So with that being said, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Again, I can't wait to see you in any of my dance classes. Shout outs to everyone that is a patron or an investor. I love you so very much. If If you are interested in checking out the Patreon, we have a $1 7-day trial. Everything you need is going to be linked down below or in this beautiful, lovely QR code. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting. Check out the other channels. I do have a Storytime series I've currently been working on that's taking forever, and I appreciate all of you guys that's been watching it. I think I'm heading into part 4, okay, of this last job that I worked at. It was a ghetto hot ass mess. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and I'm gonna see y'all next time. Bye.